So hi everyone, welcome to today's topic. So today we are going to talk about the new graduate aptitude test for biotechnology, and this thing is known as, like, it was known as JNU CEB. Right now it is changed. So I hope I am live, right? Yeah, this was known as JNU CEB. Right now this thing is known as GATB 2020, Graduate Aptitude Test for Biotechnology 2020. Now, right now, many things are going in your mind, right? So first of all, there is a syllabus change. That might be a bit difficult, right? In the 11th hour, if you figure out that syllabus is changed, then it's a big problem. There is also change in exam pattern, how to plan in last month you need to know, and how to tackle these things. All of these things would be discussed today, right? So let me give you an overview what all we are going to discuss today. So first of all, we are going to look at the topics that we really need to learn for this exam. Then I'll give you some tips and tricks which would be useful for you guys. I'll talk about some resources that would be handy, and ultimately we need to learn about the analytics based on the previous year exams. Don't forget that the GATB exam was JNU CEB. So there is some amount of change in syllabus, but the entire syllabus is not new. So there is commonality between these two exams, and there would be significant overlap. So all of these things would be discussed today. So chaliye shuru karte hain. Okay guys, so let me just take a look at it. Okay, so hi everyone who all are online. Okay, so let's talk about this thing. So first of all, I'll show you this notification that came in our CB website, or Regional Center for Biotechnology website, and they have said that, okay, the test replaces combined entrance exam for biotechnology CEB. So jo CEB tha, that is right now going to be GATB 2020. So the names are different, the exam is still remaining the same. The purpose is a bit different, but overall it is the entrance examination for MSc level biotechnology courses, right? And they have said when the form fill up date starts and when it ends. So the starting date is 1st, right? 1st June, and the closing date is 18th June. And you can understand that you have to really apply rapidly, otherwise the dates would be over. Now, few important dates. So the exam date is nothing but 30th June, so end of this month. And right now, today is 9th, so exactly you have 20 days. And I'm going to tell you that how you can utilize your 20 days to ace this exam. Okay? And grand total, there are 1221 seats and 62 courses, okay? But let me tell you something about these courses, and this would be very useful and resourceful for you guys. So please watch this stream till the end. Okay? So all of the students would be admitted under DBT supported programs. Okay? So all of these 1221 seats would be funded by DBT, Department of Biotechnology, India, right? So the DBT would really pay for their education cost and anything, and also give them a little bit allowance such that they can live with that. Okay? So there are few courses, for example, MSc Biotechnology and similar things, and there is MSc Agricultural Biotechnology, and there would be MTech courses. So each of these courses has some amount of stipend, a little bit generous amount of stipend, which would help you or boost your morale to do this course. So, and anybody who qualifies this exam would be eligible for that. Okay. So now there are many institutes which are participating in this exam. And just to name a few, there would be BHU, JNU, Hyderabad University, Pune University, Bangalore Agricultural University, Madurai Kamraj University. So all of these big universities are already there participating. And there are few new universities which joined this particular exam, or which would accept the score of this exam, and the list, a detailed list, is given in their website. So that is why they had to change the syllabus a little bit, because few new courses are there, okay, which were not previously there. So they had to change the syllabus a little bit. So that's the whole part. Okay, so why I'm giving you all these gyan? I mean, why should you even listen to me? Because once upon a time, I already gave this exam. It was like 2016. 2016-17 was my year when I gave this exam. And as you can see, I have secured a all India rank of 2, single digit rank. So, and in general category. So that's why it might be useful, like my experiences, my strategy might be useful for you guys. So it might be helping you, okay? So let's start. So what we are going to learn today, we're going to learn about the change in exam pattern. It's very important. How much the change is, we need to understand. देखना पड़ेगा कि कितना change है, और इतना change से हमको कोई फर्क पड़ता है कि नहीं, वो भी देखना पड़ेगा. And ultimately we are going to learn how we can crack this exam and tackle this dramatic change within 1 month and still ace the exam. So these are the two main focus of today's topic, okay? Okay, so there would be frequently asked questions that already you have in your mind. So do let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, and I'll answer that. I'll try to answer that. But I know some of these questions are dancing in your head. For example, what are the best resources? Do I need to take coaching classes? Then on which part of biology I should focus on? So these things are really dancing in your head, right? And how to manage the time in last 20 days? Is there any specific course that would help me in these last 20 days? Or how much time I need to spend to get a single digit rank like you? All of these questions are dancing in your head, right? So let me tell you, there are ways, okay? So there are ways how you can utilize your last 20 days to ace this exam. In order to do that, you have to really listen to me till the end of this video, okay? But before that, subscribe and don't forget to share with your friends. And if you want to join Unacademy, I'll tell you why you want to join Unacademy, what would be the benefit of it. So don't forget to use my code EPI10, that would give you 10% discount, okay? So let's talk about the question paper. It would be a computer-based exam, so no pen and paper. So it would be very similar to IIT-JAM, so don't worry. Pen and paper based exams are not so good. Like the computer based exams are easier. Like you can so let's say you have circled in the OMR and you cannot change it. Later on you can change it in the computer based exam before you submit, right guys? So that's a big advantage point. So let's analyze the question paper. So there would be two parts, part A and part B. Part A has 60 multiple choice questions, okay? And the level is 10 plus 2 levels, like that means class 12 level. And what all are covered in that? So there would be biology, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. There could be question from any of these areas. Now, if you analyze the mock test given in the website, you would see mostly the questions are actually general aptitude type questions, basic reasoning, logic, and class 10 level mathematics, not even class 12 level mathematics. So that's very easy, guys. Not so difficult, but you have to be very cautious in this particular section. Why is so? The total marks would be 60 because 60 questions, 1 mark each, there would be 60 marks. But every correct answer would give you 1 mark, every wrong answer would take half marks from you. And that's the negative marking part. 50% negative marking, a lot, guys. Though this section is not so much scoring, but still half marks negative, it's a lot. So you have to be very cautious while answering these sections or these questions, okay? Because पैर फिसला तो गया भैंस पानी में. So you have to be very, very cautious about this part, okay? Okay, so in the part 2, there would be again 60 multiple choice questions. Now there would be 100 questions among which you have to figure out 60. So there would be options, like a lot of options, like 40 questions extra. So this is very important. There are 40 questions extra in this section, and among that you have to choose 60. And the questions would come from different areas of biology. Each part would have like 3 marks, so 60 into 3, 180 marks total, and the negative mark would be 1/3. That means 1 mark would be deducted. So again, the negative marking is low relative to part A. So in this section, you can take higher risk, but in part A, you can't take higher risk, so it would be difficult for you guys, okay? So do let me know if you have any questions so far. But anyway, the topics that are super important for this exam from biology part, I'll come to physics, chemistry, but from biology part is microbiology, virology, cell biology and cell communication, molecular biology and recombinant DNA technology, fundamentals of biochemistry and metabolism, immunology, genetics, and techniques used in biology. So all of these questions, you would recognize that all of these topics are actually covered in IIT-JAM syllabus. So already if you are preparing for IIT-JAM, you might have covered all of this syllabus. But this is not the entire syllabus for GATB exam. there are a few new additions. So I'll talk about those new additions. Okay. So the new topics include bioinformatics, bioengineering and bioprocessing, and then animal and plant tissue culture method. So these three topics looks like small, but they are quite huge. For example, in bioinformatics, there are quite a lot of topics involving basic database, basic mining tools, proteomic and genomic resources. These things are actually practical oriented things. So really nobody knows what kind of questions would be asked from this part. But anyway, I'll come to the strategy a little bit later. There would be bioengineering and bioprocessing part. So people who are really studying industrial biotechnology, they would be getting benefit from this particular part because they already know stuff which other people don't know. But don't worry, if you don't study these kind of topics in your undergrad course, don't worry. I'll tell you why. And there would be also animal and tissue culture methods and plant tissue culture methods, and quite a lot of syllabus. And it's so difficult for you guys to complete it in last 20 days. If I were in your situation, it would be difficult for me, and there would be no way that I could finish this thing in last 20 days. So how to tackle it, right? So right now, you might not be able to sort of finish all of these, but how to tackle it. So that's the important part that you need to know, okay? So if you ask me why these topics are added, I'll tell you. Because there are many new institutes which would accept the sort of the score for GATB 2020. So that is why, according to their curriculum, a little bit of modification of this exam was necessary, and that's why they changed. But the pace that they changed was too early. They could have published a notification 2 months back and saying that they are changing the syllabus. So that's a sort of mismanagement from their part, I would say. But anyway, what we can do right now, we have to accept it and act accordingly. So let me give you some tips and tricks. Be whatever the syllabus is, you need to have your basics clear. If your basics are clear, you are done. Now, daily practice of MCQ question would really help you in the last moment. Okay, so let me take some questions. Yeah, so here, so Malya Kumar Bhoi is saying that how we can prepare for this exam in last few days. So I'll come to that. I'll come to that in 2 minutes. Give me a little bit time and how you can really manage your time. I'll give you a model of time management and framework for that. Okay, so give me a little bit time. So daily practice of MCQ with a combination of your basic concept revision is very important. And ultimately, in the day of exam, you need to choose your answers very wisely. It is very important what you leave rather than what you answer. If you get negative marking, your game is over. So it's like a strategic game. You have to play it wisely, and nobody can tell you how you can play it wisely. It's your own concept, okay? So let me talk about some subject weightage and important topics. So if we talk about biology, the big focus based on that last 10 years analytics was cell biology, molecular biology, and ecology and evolution. So these were a very big chunk of their syllabus. But also they ask questions reliably from immunology and physiology, and those questions are relatively easy, so it would be easier for you to answer those part, right? From physics, they ask quite a lot of questions from mechanics, wave and optics and everything, okay, and current electricity, of course. And for chemistry, organic chemistry was chunk. Now this year, when we look at the model question paper, we didn't find quite a lot of organic chemistry or these kind of questions. So maybe this year they are more focusing towards aptitude based exam, like when they would just check your aptitude, and that's the name suggests. So I think focusing more on mathematics would be wiser than focusing more on physics or chemistry. So in mathematics, initially they used to ask a lot of calculus, a lot of algebra, coordinate geometry on this thing, but this year it was totally different. This year they are mainly asking algebra in class 10 or 11 level, which would be easily solvable. So it might be easier for you. So if you practice a little bit, okay? Now let's talk about resources, okay? So let's talk about resources. So I think at this last 20 days, what can really save you is these two books, okay? Now for practicing MCQ, you can, if you have these two books, you can really practice MCQs and revise previous year questions. So sometimes they repeat their concepts. I mean, they might not directly quote the question from previous year question paper, but they sometimes change their question patterns, but most of the cases these are consistent. So checking out the questions would be very helpful, I would say. And for physics, chemistry, and math, if you really want to prepare, use these books. I would suggest these books. Now, for biology, best choices would be these things if you have a year-long time. But if you have 20 days in your hand, these resources won't be useful, right? But for any MSc level exam, Leninger was the Bible. But believe me, for this last 20 days, it won't help you. Alternative was these BIOS Insta Notes, but honestly, in this last 20 days, it would be very difficult to handle these things. Okay, guys? Anyway, now you might be wondering that in last 20 days, are there courses or classes that you can take that would help you to revise? So generally, you wish your classes to be more engaging and interesting, and you don't have to pay that much. It is also your wish, right? Because all of these expensive courses and mock tests cost a lot, cost a bomb, right? So introducing Unacademy, which won't give you a headache, but eventually it would be very cost effective for you, and you can learn whenever you want, wherever you want, because it's totally online. You just need a mobile phone to learn and a pen and paper. So let me tell you, the Unacademy paid class, for example, if you are appearing for JNU CEB, you can only take 1 month subscription, and that subscription would cost 1800 rupees if you use my code AP10. So my code is AP10. If you use this code, you would get a 10% discount. So this 2000 rupees per month would go 1800 rupees, and I have crash courses for all of these. Okay, and if you take a 12-month subscription, it would be only 833 rupees per month. Okay, so that means less than 50 rupees per class. So that's amazing, right? How cheap it is, right? It is even cheaper than your fast food budget. Anyway, but you have unique experience of solving question online in live poll, and you can ask question online to your educator. That's great, right? So they have two type of courses: free classes, paid classes. So both are very important. Like free classes and paid classes, both are important, both are useful, both are handy, right, guys? So, but the paid classes definitely gives you more, and their benefit is more. So do consider if you want to join Unacademy. And the best part is you can give mock tests, which would be very similar to your final day examination. So it would make you more familiarized with the online exam pattern. Okay. So hi Meghna. So hi Megha. Sorry, not Meghna. Anyway, hi Vamsi. Okay. So all the best for this exam. But let me tell you about the strategy part. Okay. So let's see what strategy you can make. So right now, it's a wake-up call for you. You really need to listen to this, because if you do a mistake, this time won't come back. So listen to me. If I were in your shoes, how I would have tackled it. So first of all, there is a syllabus change. Everybody knows. Don't think you are only stressing out about it. Thousands of students who are aspiring for this exam, they are also stressing out like you. So you are not alone. Don't worry for that. सबका ही फटी पड़ी है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, right? Don't think that you are sinking and you're standing on a sinking boat. Okay, so don't think like that. So if you think like that, you can't perform. Right now, what is important? You have to identify your strength and weakness. So definitely, if I would be in your position, my strength would be all of these subjects that I have learned for IIT-JAM or anything that has been taught to some extent in my course. But these new topics, which was not covered in my course, let's say, this would be my weakness. So I have to really write my strength and weakness. I don't know what is your strength. I don't know what is your weakness. So you have to take out a pen and paper, and you have to write your strength and weakness. So remember, your strength is going to help you to crack this exam, not your weakness. But you need to know your weakness in order to highlight your strength. So definitely one possibility is your weakness is the new topic. So let me take a question from Malia. So is there any possibility that the question patterns would be totally changed? See, based on the mock test that they have given in the website, the question patterns are not so different. I would rather say the question patterns that they show in mock test is easier than the JNU CEB general paper. So don't worry that much. Okay. But again, I said a little bit of aptitude is increased this year rather than physics chemistry type of question. So be prepared for that part. But analyze the question paper, the mock test right now, and devise your strategy accordingly. So every day fix a time for new topics. So there would be new topics, substantial amount of new topic, but fix a given time, like let's say 2 hours every day. And do active learning. That's why I'm talking about Unacademy, because Unacademy helps you to do active learning. You learn 1 hour a day, but you still do the active learning. So I have a course, so it's a 30-day course, and it's a recorded lecture. So you can finish that course in 20 days. So 1.5 hours every day. And that would really guide you to revise your concepts every day, and it would be beautiful if you want to take that course. So the course link would be given in the description. So you can click on that for viewing that course. But anyway, all of these topics that are already important for this exam would be covered in that playlists. Okay, so you can always go and watch any of those. It would be really helpful, guys. Now, how would you devise your strategy? So first of all, I would say spend 1 hour to 1.3 hours in reading biology, and also, guys, definitely practice more. Do active learning and practice more. Don't do passive learning at this stage. Like, don't sit with a book with a comfy couch and don't try to read. You would only sleep. You won't read. Okay, so spend some amount of time for chemistry, physics, and maths. I would rather suggest spend more time on maths than physics and chemistry. But each day you can only spend like 4 and 5 hours for studying. So don't worry. So 5 to 6 hours of study in last 20 days would really help you to ace this exam, right? So I would suggest early in the morning, start with the new topics and make notes side by side. By the way, I'll provide free courses in the Unacademy learning app for these new sections, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, you have to maintain a balance between these two. Balance between revising your strengths and also balance between reading new concepts. Because you cannot spend too much time reading new topics and forget about the old ones and forget about your strength or strongholds, right? So you have to revise your strongholds, because that is the one which jo aapka naiya paar karayegi, right? The new topics might make you feel a little bit more prepared, but honestly, these new topics are not your strength at this moment. So you need to make this balance. Nobody else can tell you about that. Okay? So Ankit Narang is asking me that share MSc Zoology syllabus. But we are not talking about MSc Zoology, Ankit. We're talking about this particular exam, GATB 2020. So I don't think it is relevant. Anyway, so I mean, there is a generic MSc Zoology syllabus, so you can go to any website and download that. I don't know which board, which college you are in or what is your syllabus, okay, which university you read. Anyway, just remember, new topics only comprise 30% of the syllabus, but old topics are the 70%. So don't ignore the old topics न्यू टॉपिक के चक्कर में, राइट? न्यू टॉपिक के चक्कर में ओल्ड टॉपिक को छोड़ना नहीं है. ओल्ड टॉपिक आपको एहसास दिलाएगा कि आपको करना है. Anyway, guys, you need last moment preparation notes. All of these would be available in my Unacademy course. So these notes would really help you to prepare in the last moment. You look at any notes, it would really help you to revise within 5 minutes. So these are called flashcards. All of these are provided in my crash course. Now definitely your basic concept should be clear. You should be practicing every day, and ultimately what you do in the exam hall, how much strategy you can play in the exam hall, that determines your possibility of getting selected in this exam. Okay, guys? So that's the important part. So there would be several topics in biology that you can already find in my Unacademy courses, but the best resources for last 20 days would be these 3 books. The Biotechnology, A Problems Approach, it would be appropriate for the new part. Okay, guys? So I really recommend these 3 books for these last 20 days. I mean, if you have a 1 year time, you can use better resources. But for last 20 days, I think these books, if you want to really revisit from these books. And definitely give mock test. It would help you. I mean, if you do good in the mock test, it would really boost your concept. So that's why Unacademy is providing mock test series. Go there and give mock test. That's great, right? So, and now few general suggestions, like when you start reading for. So expected cutoff, I have no idea, Vamsi. I have no idea. So this year the syllabus is new, so difficulty level I also don't know. So expected cutoff I don't know, but for any exam, scoring 60% and beyond would increase your chance, right? So I really don't know. But okay, when you are studying for a long time, for like 5-6 hours, take break in between and try to like play some soothing music in the background such that you don't sleep. Otherwise what happens, you always sleep. I also sleep. Okay, and please, ultimately each day don't compromise with your sleep, because if you don't sleep you would only be a zombie and you won't be a productive student. Okay, so you would only be a zombie. But before sleeping I would suggest wait for some time and wait for like 15 minutes where you really browse through your phone and browse your social media. Don't do this in this last 20 days, and try to figure out what you achieved in a day. Try to recollect, try to retrieve. This is called memory retrieval. So this is very important, memory retrieval with active learning procedure, which really help you to boost your concept, guys. So this is really, really important. Do it, you would get your benefits. Okay, I got my benefit from this. I hope you would also get the benefit from it. So with that, I will say subscribe Unacademy's YouTube channel, because a lot of educators provide free contents here, and also download the Unacademy app, because there would be paid classes definitely, but there would be open classes as well, which can be accessed by anyone. But if you want to join paid classes, don't forget to use my code AP10. So it would really give you 10% discount. And believe me guys, it's only 1800 rupees for a month. Why don't you try? It would really help you to revise, honestly. I don't give you a assurance that you would ace this exam or you would be selected in this exam, but definitely at this moment when 20 days is like left for this exam, my crash course would really help you and make you feel more confident in this exam. So see many of you in the course, right? Thank you guys, thanks for listening. So do you have any specific question that you want to ask me? I'm still online, so you can ask me specific questions right now. So 5 minutes question answer session. So tell me guys. Do let me know in the chat. What are your questions? What are your queries? Yeah, so flashcards are available only in Plus. So the difficulty level, I don't think it would be so damn difficult, but I don't know. I really don't know. So there is a change. When this kind of change is happening, there might be easy questions, there might be difficult questions. So unless you face it, you don't know it. So only what you can do is make yourself more prepared. That's why I was saying about the crash course, which would help you to feel more confident. So confident is everything. So do anyone have any other question? पूछ लो यार, पूछने का मौसम है, पूछ लो. Yes, sir. So notes would be available in the Plus course. So all of these notes are video notes. So the notes are like this. So I have like these study materials. So you download that, and whatever I told you in the class, you write it in your own way. So you take a printout and you write on that. So it's like a fill in the blanks of things. So you do the class, and all of these graphics would be there. On bottom of it, you write your stuff. Then what would happen? Each day you're actively learning. When you were learning from the videos, you already learned. And when you downloaded the slides and the material, what happens? You write on these slides either using a digital notebook or using pen and paper method, but it would really help you. So for MSc Zoology students, so the fee structure, it depends, Ankit, like what exam you are what exam you're looking for. If you're looking for IIT-JAM or MSc level entrance examination, so then it would be like 1800 per month. So I have already said about these things. Maybe you have joined later, but I'll just revisit that part. since you have asked. So these are the packages for IIT-JAM category. Like IIT-JAM category is not only for IIT-JAM, but IIT-JAM category is also for JNU CEB, I mean right now GATB 2020 and many other entrance exams. So you can see there are 4 steps: subscription, billing information, payment, and confirmation. So as easy as that. So for 1 month it's 2,000 rupees, but if you use my code AP10 you would get a 10% discount, so it would be 1,800. If you take 6 months or let's say 12 months, it would be total 10,000 rupees, but 833 rupees per month, which is pretty good, right guys? So it would be pretty good. Anyway, so that's great. So that pretty much summarizes the fee structures for MSc entrance, right? So if I talk about what would be the really money saver, this one is the money saver. 12 month, 833 rupees, that's best. Like 10,000 rupees for 12 month. You would have thousands of lecture in that. इतना ज़्यादा lecture होगा कि आप खत्म नहीं कर पाओगे, इतने एग्जाम होगा कि आप दे नहीं पाओगे. और सिर्फ अकेला मेरा लेक्चर नहीं सुन पाओगे आप, सारे के सारे जो एडुकेटर्स हैं सबका लेक्चर आप सुन पाओगे. सो डोंट फॉरगेट टू यूज दिस कोड, इट वुड रियली गिव यू दिस डिस्काउंट. सो विद द AP10 discount it would be even less than this price, and it would be very less, okay, something around 800 rupees, so 46 rupees per class. So it would be like even cheaper than your fast food budget. So what can I say, guys? Okay, so I hope that answered your question, right? So with that, I'll say goodbye to you guys and मिलते हैं और एक नया live stream में. Okay, keep on watching this channel and I mean definitely subscribe to this channel. Okay guys, bye.